team.
So, Coach, I got to ask you. You played a lot. It sounds like you played against a good competition back then.
Yes.
All right. Here's Straight No Chaser. We keep it real.
Okay.
Who was the player that gave you that work? What player gave you work on the basket, either on the playground or in the game? Who gave it to you? Who gave you those buckets?
That's a good question. On the playground?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start with the playground, and then I'll ask you about the in the game. So on the playground, who's the player who gave you work on the playground?
Oh man, it wasn't many, Stan. Stan, I grew up real talk, Stan. I grew up in an era, Stan, where you had to play D.
Okay.
You didn't have a choice because there wasn't no AAU back then.
Okay.
And if you wanted to stay on the floor, you had to be able to play D. First of all, you wouldn't get picked if you couldn't play D. Everybody back then, Stan, played D and had a jump shot.
Okay.
You couldn't play D and you're never a sweet jumper, you weren't going to be out there on the floor. Stan, I can honestly tell you on the courts in Phoenix, I don't really remember anybody giving me work. You know,
okay.
I didn't really guard Quinn because he was always on my team. Now, in high school, when I played at Thornridge, I don't remember anybody giving me work.
Okay.
Now, when I got to college, kind of a different story. Now, two guys put me to sleep.
Okay.
Number one was Lamar Mondane from Northeastern Illinois University. Man, that dude, man, was a pro, man.
Say less.
Man, hey, man, let me tell you something. That week, Coach Buckhalter, I played for Chicago State.
Okay.
And we were playing Northeastern in the crosstown shootout. It was our first home game. Coach Buckhalter looked at me at the end of practice and said, Rocky, you're going to guard Money Mondane. I'm like, okay, bring it on, man. You know, for Thornridge, I'll guard anybody. Mm-hmm. And all the guys was looking at me like, okay, Rock, we're going to see. Hey, man. Hey, I had never seen anybody like this dude before, man. He was lightning quick. He could shoot. If you got up on him, I couldn't stop him from going around me.
Okay.
If I played back on him, he just pulled a jumper.
Okay.
He had 28. I had 2 that night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they beat us. Okay. The next guy that took me to school was Milton McGee from Wright State.
Okay.
I had the nerve to go out there, man, at the start of the game talking crazy to this dude, man. We got to the circle, man. I looked at him. I'm like, not tonight, man. Not tonight. This ain't going to be your night. And the dude just looked at me, Stan. He just looked at me, man, you know, and didn't say a word. And he had 28. And I think I had 6 points that game.
All right,
but I played against Maurice Cheeks at West Texas State.
Okay.
He had 14. I had 8.
All right.
Yeah, so it wasn't many guys. 2 guys that really embarrassed me.
You know what? It happens. Here's the thing: if you play ball long enough, it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Bradford Smith, you know, gave Mike some work. So I mean, it happens even to the best of them. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. And some of the names you mentioned, hey, it's no shame.
Stan, in Chicago State, the schedule we played. I played against Larry Bird. We played Indiana State at home and center in Terry Hawk. We used to play Kentucky State. I played against Gerald Cunningham and Lewis Lindner from Kentucky State. I played against Purvis Short that played for Jackson State. You know, he led the NBA in scoring one year. You know, he was awesome. So I played against a whole lot of big-time players.
Well, and to that point, that's why I said there's no shame in it. You know, it happens. Yeah. You're going up against some names. You know, you sound like you're holding your own. So on the flip side, let me ask you, who did you get that business to on the playground?
A lot of guys.
Wait, hold on. Let's make sure we have the microphone. Name one name that you gave some business to on the playground. Look, I want to make sure we get that out there.
I used to kill a lot of guys on the playground, man. I can't really name one name. It was one guy named Smirch. God bless his soul, he passed away.
Okay.
Derek Jackson. Yeah, he was big time guard that played for Thornridge and 76, and then he went to Nebraska and Omaha. But me and him kind of had a rivalry, and I used to impose my will against him, because everybody, gave him so many props, and he was younger than me, and I didn't like that, But there was a lot of guys I gave work to.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because when we think when we think Rocky Hill, we think Coach Hill, and I think it's important for people to understand, that before there was Coach, there was also the Hooper, and the Hooper came first, then to Coach.
But you know what, Sid? I got to say this too in this forum here. I was not a great player. Okay. I want to say that I was a very good, fundamentally sound, hard-working, good attitude type player. I was good enough to get a scholarship to Chicago State, played, against some of the best in the country. Okay. I was able to use basketball and not let it use me.
Yep.
It got me my education. I got my degree from Chicago State, and it got me a really good job at education. So I was able to use it to make my life better. And I try to impart that to my players now, to use basketball to get where you want to go in life.
Absolutely.